That one. Whoop, we can hear us. Okay. Treading the Boards, episode 4, going live in 3, 2, 1. On today's show, I'm getting coffee for the picket line.
Rufie's done all the parts.
Someone bought some Peruvian darkness powder.
Do you know your ball from your bow?
The Olivier Awards and more on tonight's performance of Treading the Boards. Good evening.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, we've started. Welcome to episode 4 of Treading the Boards, the musical podcast. I am Robin. Hello. And joining me again tonight is...
Hello, I'm Sheena.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us.
If you wonder why there's lots of giggling during the opening music, we're having a dance and a play on the video. So head on over to YouTube and check it out.
Bit of a dance-off.
It is a bit of a
That could
dance-off.
be our new thing.
It could be.
A dance-off in the titles.
Yeah, I think we should do it. We should get more and more like elaborate and like...
Busting like a whole move up. You know,
Rap,
whole
mate.
routine.
Oh yeah, innit, mate? Hi, yeah, welcome to episode 4 of Treading the Boards, the musical podcast for everything West End, Broadway and beyond. You know who I am. You know who she is. And we're back for this week. So thank you to everyone who listened last week. It was really cool of you. But yeah, so welcome back. We have stuff again for you, which is good. So we have an audio clip from Caroline, which I promised last week.
Hi, Caroline.
Play that in a minute. I'm doing this really badly, aren't I? So
Just run through what we were up to today.
yeah, I was just gonna go through it, but we're not. Right, okay, you know what we're gonna go through. So we've got details about the Olivier Awards coming up, new feature which we're working hard to get into the show, which is Do You Know Your Ball from Your Bow?
Pretty excited about this feature.
It's quite exciting, I'm not gonna lie. We've got news about Chicago, we've got a story about Harry Potter. I think we're gonna hopefully review Wind in the Willows, just as like a follow-on thing. And that will be nice and fun. So, should we begin?
Should we crack on?
We'll crack on. So, for the last 3 episodes, you're probably completely fed up of hearing about it by now. But I've been harping on about Eugenius, which has finished in London, but hopefully it will rear its head again. And I went to see it with my friend Caroline. Big shout out to Caroline. And she recorded this last week, but it was a little bit late for when we recorded it. So I promised her I was going to play it. Promise I was going to play it this week. So Caroline has sent in a little clip thing about her talking about Eugenius, and I'm going to play it now. So here is Caroline.
Hi, this is Caroline from London, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about a new musical called Eugenius that has just finished playing its run at the Other Palace in Victoria, London. To say that Eugenius the musical is genius is an absolute cliche, I know, but it really, really is genius. Ben Adams and Chris Wilkins have written the most amazingly funny, wittiest 80s-inspired space show. I am the hugest fan of the 80s, to the point where I wish I had been around for the whole decade and not just born in 86. And this show thought of every single detail to do with the 80s. The costumes, the hair, the makeup, the accessories, the props, everything was thought about and was perfect. The jokes, the references, the dialogue, it was all like being in the 80s, back in the 80s. It was fantastic. Even the music that was played at the beginning before the show started and during the interval was perfectly themed to not only the decade, but also the theme of what the show was about. So space, superheroes, adventure, fantasy. Eugenius introduces us to the new superhero called Tough Man. So if you love 80s and superheroes and space and adventure and musicals, this is the show for you to go and see and to listen to. I really look forward to what the next big adventure for Tough Man and his creator Eugene is. The show has some of the catchiest songs I've heard in such a long time, and I recommend and urge everybody to go and download the album from iTunes, watch bits on YouTube, and go and tweet about this and just spread the word of how fantastic Eugenius is. And I really can't wait to see where Eugenius goes next. And I will be there going, go Eugenius.
Yay! Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you very much.
Really nice little sum up. It's really good. She saw it twice in the end, I think. I still didn't find out if she actually went on the Saturday. Caroline, tell us.
Let us know.
Did you go and see it on Saturday? Hopefully you did, because of the snow. But yeah, so again, it's great. Get the soundtrack. It's really, really cool.
Excellent.
So, moving on to another show, completely different show. So a few months ago, February, last month, Come From Away, which, if you know me, I harp on about this show a lot. If you don't, then you might not have heard of it. So it's a show that's on Broadway. It's actually doing really well. It's just extended to booking through to 2019. I saw it last April when I was over there, and it's basically the story of 9/11, but from a different angle. So it's what happened in Canada, in the small town of Gander, when the US shut its airspace and all the planes coming over the Atlantic had to land in somewhere, and so they all landed in Canada. And they basically, this small town that had a population of like 8,000 or something opened their doors to these 7,000 stranded travelers and just looked after them for a week while they sort of everything was sorted out in America. And it's a really positive story, and a real kind of just a really amazing thing that happened up there was this horrific stuff was happening in New York. So it's a different view on a really tragic day, but it's really cool seeing it in New York, 'cause obviously that's where it all happened. But I've made you listen to it, haven't I?
Yeah, I really liked it. It was wasn't really expecting it to sound as it did. And you told me a lot about it, but I wasn't expecting it to sound like that. It's got a real sort of fresh. It's really different, isn't it? It's a really different soundtrack, but amazing. It's
really folky, but kind of like Canadian folk.
Yeah, like modern.
Yeah, and
sort of.
It's just done in one act. There's no interval, and it's very bitty sounds the wrong word. It's very chorus based. There's only one solo in it, and the rest is sort of just bits. So literally, I think there's over 100 characters portrayed in it or something. It's like an insane amount of characters, and it's just bits. So one person's got a line, and another person's got a line, and another person. So it's just lines sort of all over the place, and it really creates this community sounding show, which is quite unique. I haven't heard anything else like it, and it's really powerful, even just to listen to it, because they're telling the story of what happened, and it's pretty much sung through. There's a few bits of dialogue in the show, but the bulk of it is in the songs, and yeah, it's really powerful.
I can imagine it's quite intimate as well, without having an interval and all staying in one act, that you get really into it.
Yeah, because it doesn't. I think if it had an interval, it would lose.
Yeah,
like it would lose its pace.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. It just keeps going. So we'll do a feature on it at some point where I'll tell you about actors and the directors and things like that. But anyway, I really liked it, and in February, they announced that they're coming up to their 1-year anniversary in New York. And so they were going to do one of these videos where you can submit a video of you singing it, and you might end up in their big mashup medley thing of a big community version of the song. And Dervin Hansen have done a lot of these, and I keep missing the Dervin Hansen ones, which I'm really annoyed about.
One day.
I'm going to get on one of them, damn it.
Yeah.
But I saw this one. I was like, right, I'm doing it. I'm submitting this one. So I recorded it and uploaded it to my other YouTube channel, which is just Little Dib, if you want to find it. LITTLEDIB. I put covers and songs and stuff up there, so you can go and find it if you want to find it.
Worth a watch.
Yeah, thank you. And I uploaded it, and my friends were like, "There's no backing music on your latest video." I was like, "I know it's not meant to have any." And they've released the video on Sunday. And I was watching it, and I was like, I'm not there. And then I'm in it, like right near the end. I pop up, and I have one line. And I have I'm getting coffee for the picket line, and that's me. So,
it's a good line. It's a good line
really
to have.
Pleased. So if you check out the Come From Away, We Are Here 1 year video, I'm not entirely sure how you search for it, actually.
No, you sent me the link. I was watching it, and he goes, "Oh, I'm in it. And I thought, this isn't you. Where are you? But you're in it. You do come up.
Yeah, you got to wait for it. Come From Away.
There's some really good singers in it as well, isn't there?
Yeah, and like real diverse.
Yeah.
It's really cool how they've put it together. I don't know how you find it.
Would it be We've Been Here a Year? Oh, you've done that.
Yeah.
We could maybe share a link on our one of our pages.
We could do that. I know where it will be. It will be in my history.
But it's a nice idea as well, especially because it's such a community-based story.
Yeah.
To then get everyone together and do a
there
little
it is.
mashup.
So it's I won't play it, but Welcome to the Rock 1 year celebration. That should find it. And I turn up at around 3 minutes 12. You can hear me in it.
And it's nice as well because it'll get you introduced to the soundtrack as well.
Yeah, it's the opening song in the show as well. It's really cool, and I say it's just a big community collaboration, which is awesome. So yeah, I pop up, but yeah, Welcome to the Rock 1 year celebration. I think I have shared the link on some of our social media, so
check it out.
Go check it out. It's really cool. And yeah, if any others come up, let us know. If we don't hear about them, and you never know, I might get
yeah.
You on. We might feature.
I might have to mime. No one wants to hear that.
So that's really cool. Yes. So last week, was it last week? Maybe.
What happened last week?
We've said about Broadway HD.
Oh yeah, we were talking. You said that you'd heard about it last week.
Yeah. So this came up about the Wind in the Willows thing, which we're going to review later. See, links. We know what and yeah, it said it was going on to this site called Broadway HD. And I was like, I need to look at this. What is this? So it's basically, I've signed up to it to give it a go. And it's basically a Netflix, but for stage shows and musicals and concerts and drama things and stuff. And they get filmed. So,
it looks incredible. There's a wide range of things on here.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I think if you live in America, you get access to a hell of a lot more. I think it's linked through Amazon more in America. And they've got all like Newsies on there and Billy Elliot. And so all those ones they filmed that we've got on DVD.
Yeah.
I think they're all in there in America.
Here.
But like, I've just got to open here. And The Wind in the Willows is already on it. So if you want to watch it, sign up and you can rent one individually, so you don't have to do the monthly thing, and you can opt out whenever you want. I think I've done it for 3 months, and it was 20 quid, I think, for 3 months.
That's good to try it out, isn't it? And see what's on there.
I think it's $8 a month, so that's like 5 quid or something. And then if you want to just rent an individual one, it's $15 for one. So you might as well sign up for a month, and if you don't like it, cancel it. But there's there's From Here to Eternity on there that I really want to see. Gypsy's on there that you said's really good.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. Imelda Staunton is incredible. It's worth watching just for her last song, because I'm not sure that's humanely possible to hit some of the notes she does after a 2.5 hour show.
Cool. So I need to watch that one. Jacqueline Hyde's on there. Memphis is on there.
Memphis I really want to see that. Is it the Broadway version? That looks really good. We saw a bit of West End Live once, and it looked amazing. 2010
Tony Award winner for Best Musical, Memphis Stars, Matego Glover and Chad Kimball.
Oh, I think that's the American one, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's captured from Broadway.
That looks good, though.
But yeah, so that's on there. There's all sorts of plays. There's a Sweeney Todd, a version of Sweeney Todd, and I don't know which one it is. Godspell's on there. That looks like Matey.
Who's in this?
Him.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
So if you're a Morgan Freeman fan,
The Gospel at Colonias. I don't know if it's a. I'll have to watch it.
yeah.
I don't know if it's a stage version or a thingy.
Oh, brilliant.
But yeah, it looks really cool, and like there's Riverdance on there. I say When the Willows. I've already watched it. It's amazing. It's really good again. And then they've got concerts. Like there's one here which is Disney Broadway hits. And I remember when this was on in London, it was at the Albert Hall, and they basically got some West End actors to come and sing a concert of Disney Broadway songs. So it featured John Barrowman, Dean John Wilson, Ashley Brown, Scarlett Strallen, Marie Dandridge, Josh Strickland, Trevor Dion Nichols, Anton Fitzgerald White, Jade Ewan, and Alan Menken. So some quite big names from the West End there. And they've got songs from, they're like the Broadway versions of songs. So Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Aida, Tarzan, Mary Poppins, Frozen, Little Mermaid, Newsies, Hunchback, Aladdin, and Aladdin as a finale. So that looks really cool. I'm excited to watch that one. But yeah, it's worth checking out if you want to give it a go.
Looks like some good stuff on there.
Yeah, and I say there's stage shows and concerts and stuff. So give it a go. BroadwayHD.com. Let us know what you think.
Excellent. The Broadway Netflix.
The Broadway Netflix. Now, Sheena, are you ready?
Oh, I'm excited about this.
We've reached it.
Right.
This was
go.
Sheena's idea. Okay.
So if it fails, I'm very sorry.
But we have an idea of how we're going to expand it. I need to make that louder so that people can actually hear it. So we even have an introduction for this because we are so prepared. Now, are we ready for this?
I'm not sure.
Michael
Ball? Yeah,
See,
Michael.
Michael Ball. Michael Ball. And that.
Michael Ball.
Michael Ball. We do know our ball from our bows. Do you know your ball from your bow?
And welcome to this week's edition of Do You Know Your Balls from Your Bow? I've always wanted to be a host. Okay. So.
Do you want to explain this?
I'm
Sheena?
not sure I can. Right. Okay. So back I think it's week 1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were talking about Michael Ball being in chess. And I got confused with Michael Ball and Alfie Bow, which then confused everybody else. So we thought we'd have a round of Do You Know Your Balls from Your Bows?
Do you?
Right. So we've prepared a few questions here. A few quick fire questions.
I've just done kind of facts. Have you done questions?
No, I've done facts.
Okay, cool.
I just thought I'd spice it up by saying questions. Okay, so we're going to fire these at each other, and you have to answer as quickly as you can whether this fact is a ball or a bow.
Okay. So
okay.
You go first. Here we go.
Okay. In 1994, this person was the winner of a West London karaoke championship with a scorching rendition of Elvis' classic Suspicious Minds. Ball or bow?
Bow.
Ding! You are correct.
Yay!
Okay, do you want me to carry on with these ones?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, number 2. In 1992, this person represented the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest, finishing second with the song One Step Out of Time. Ball or bow?
I think that's ball.
Ding! It is ball. Okay, and last one. This person toured in the UK with the Front Voice Choir in February 2007 and took part in the first Classic FM webcast. Ball or bow?
Bow.
Bing!
Yay!
You know your balls from your bow. 1 point to Robin.
I need to cut out that bing and use it as like a correct answer.
For obviously when this gets a massive TV program.
Obviously.
Do you know? So
mine aren't as sophisticatedly written as yours.
Okay.
Yours
Fire
are
away.
very sophisticatedly written.
Fire away.
Is the youngest of 9 brothers and sisters.
Bow.
Yes.
Good work.
Kathy McGowan once saved his life by dragging him out of a house fire.
Ball.
Yes. Ding. And played Malcolm Nuttall in Coronation Street.
Ball.
Bing! Yes!
We do know our balls from our bows.
We do! Check that out. So
we may elaborate on that game show. Elaborate even on that game show. It could become bigger and better.
Had a mad idea that we could slip that into like interviews. So if we end up interviewing actors and stuff, that's going to be part of it. We're just going to give them like 4 facts about Alfie Boe and Michael Ball. And see if
One
they know.
day, you could be playing it yourself.
You could.
Yeah. You could be here playing it.
Let's have a call in. Like when we have to do some live streams and have a phone in.
Yes. Yeah, we could do a whole game show on it, couldn't we?
Like if people could find their own facts and ask us.
Yeah. Email them in. If you find anything that you think's a bit unusual, send it on in and we'll let you know if it's a ball or a bow fact.
Send it in. And how can they send it in, Gina?
Now, they can send it in through Twitter.
Yes, they can.
At TreadboardsPod. Or you can snap us on Snapchat at TreadsportPod. Or you can Google us at Treadboards Podcast.
You can find us on Facebook. If you search for Trading the Boards Podcast, we'll come up. And all of the other details can be found on our website, which you can also Google, tradingtheboardspodcast.com. And if you'd like to donate to the show, there's a link on the website as well. Woo!
Good stuff.
Good stuff. So, news. What's been going on in the world of theatre?
Right, okay. So they have released casting for Chicago in London. And it's quite an exciting cast because Ruthie Henshaw's in it and she's playing Mama Morton. But she's the first woman to have played in the past all 3 of the principal women roles. So she's played Velma, Roxy, and now Mama Morton. So it's quite exciting. She's the first woman to do that.
I can't use their website.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is Billy Flynn. He's been announced. He's been quite a lot recently, hasn't he? He's been been doing the rounds. And Josephina Gabriel is Velma Kelly.
Sarah So. You didn't say that because you couldn't pronounce it, did you?
Yep. You know me too well.
Sarah Serter? I reckon that's a silent T at the end. I could be completely wrong, so I do apologise. He's playing Roxy. Sarah Serter.
I look forward to seeing Sarah. Sarah S.
Sarah
is playing Roxy.
And Ruthie is playing Mama Morton, which Gina said. So yeah, quite excited to see this.
It's only for a limited run, isn't it?
Oh,
it's a very limited run.
Oh.
A lady I work with has taken her daughter. Oh, I think it might be a surprise. So let's hope she doesn't watch. Yeah, so it's going into the Phoenix Theatre. Where Once was, and
it's
the girls
was
in there once. Once was in there once.
I was there for quite a while.
Oh, was it
3 months?
Oh, that's not bad.
Starts March the 26th. April, May, ends on June the 23rd.
Oh, excellent. We've seen it, haven't we?
Yes. We saw it on tour, didn't we?
Yeah. It's a brilliant show. It's set out a lot differently to a lot of things that we've seen. I don't know how many of you out there have seen it, but they stage it with the band on stage because obviously a lot of it's set in a jazz club and the music is such a key part of it. So all the band are on stage the whole time. And I can't remember if this... I remember seeing it... I saw it when I was in Bristol years and years ago. It was like one of the first shows I ever saw. And the actors never leave the stage. I can't remember if they did.
They sit on chairs, don't they?
Yeah, they're in the wing bits, aren't they?
Yeah.
We saw Sam Bailey in it, didn't we, as Mama Morton?
Yes. And the guy who played the woman who's a guy...
Johnny Partridge.
Is that who we saw?
Yeah.
Ah, he was amazing.
Yeah. And Sam Bailey was fantastic as well, wasn't she?
Yeah. It was really good. I'd like to see it in London just to get a bigger band.
Yeah.
I felt the tour had a very stripped down band.
Yeah.
It was a bit lacking in that. But I'll be... if we can get up there.
I think it's going to be quite an impressive production from some of the sort of things that they've let out about it and released. So I think it's set to be quite a good show.
I said June, didn't I? Is it on around West End Lifetime.
Oh yeah, we could tie that in with that trip.
We could tie it in.
So we might come back with a full review. We could compare it to tour to London.
We could.
But we saw Ruthie Henshaw and Billy Elliot?
Yes, we saw her in Billy.
And I had a newfound love for Ruthie Henshaw after that.
She was amazing in Billy Elliot.
Fantastic.
You can if you buy the West End recording, they've done a DVD of it. She's on there, and yeah, she was like amazing.
Yeah.
And she's got a hell of a voice anyway, but she did the whole thing sound like she'd smoked 50 a day for 20 years. So she was kind of talking like this. And I don't know how she didn't wreck her voice, because she even sang like it as well.
Yeah.
Incredible. So I don't quite get how she did it, but she did it very well.
So I think it's going to be one worth going to see.
Yeah.
To see how it gets on.
Chicago's bringing the real razzle-dazzle back to London. Winner of 6 Tony Awards, 2 Olivier Awards and a Grammy, and now starring Academy Award-winning Cuba Gooding Jr. for 14 weeks only in his West End stage debut. The sexiest, sassiest, most sophisticated Broadway musical in history is celebrating 21 years of standing ovations in style. That needs some punctuation in it. Christ. There's literally no full stops in that.
It's because they want you to get excited about it.
They do. The next one's even worse. The dazzling multi-award-winning tale of jazz slayer Roxy Hart, her cell block rival Velma Kelly, and the smooth-talking lawyer Billy Flynn has thrilled audiences in London, Broadway, and across the world, from Mexico City to Moscow, from Sao Paulo to South Africa since 1996. They're not putting punctuation in this. With the original Broadway choreography by Anne Reinking, in the style of Bob Fosse and sizzling score featuring the classic songs Razzle Dazzle, Cell Block Tango, and all that jazz, Chicago is so good it should be illegal. It's not, though, don't worry. Don't miss out. Book now. It'll be a crime to miss out.
And all
that.
that.
Yes. So if you want to get tickets, go to chicagowestend.com. Hit the link in the top corner and you can book your tickets. Yeah, it sounds cool.
Let us know if you're going.
Yeah, we'll let you know if we end up going. Chicago. Now, this sounded really interesting, this next one. This came up on my newsfeed on Facebook. So, recently, I think it was last Sunday, London had a power cut in the middle of Soho. And there's lots of theatres in Soho. It seems to happen weirdly regularly. It happened not long ago, they had a power cut. And they had to cancel Matilda and Aladdin and I think Les Mis because they just lost power. Well, anyway, they had another power cut, and this time it was on Harry Potter, which is not good, especially because it was at the beginning of part 2, which is just not good at all because, like, your
crucial part.
Major crucial part.
We were lucky enough to see this in January last year, weren't we?
Yes.
We booked about 18 months in advance, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you sort of come out of it feeling like your life's changed a little bit, don't you?
It was quite life-changing.
Phenomenal.
I didn't quite expect it to have that effect. And yeah, like, I mean, we're big Harry Potter fans anyway.
Yeah.
So that obviously helps. But a guy I work with recently went, and he's not a big Harry Potter fan. His girlfriend's a massive Harry Potter fan, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. He loved it. So even as a non-Harry Potter fan, he still loved it.
It's just unbelievable, the stuff that happens. It's unbelievable. It's magic.
And we were
really
close, and we could not work out how they did some of it.
Our seat number was BB8. For Star Wars fans out there, that's pretty exciting.
It was really good. And the lady on the door was like, BB8. Then she remembered us, didn't she, when we went back in?
Because we're the BB8 people. But you get so involved in it that when you go away after part 1, you go away and you've got a little bit of a break. You just can't think of anything else. You're just in that zone. You don't really break out from that zone. So to then go back to part 2 and have it cancelled because of the power, forgetting.
I mean, we didn't know anything about it, did we? So, like, because you can buy the play script and read it, but we didn't do that. So part 1 ended, and we were like, oh my god, what's going to happen? They could go anywhere. And we're not going to spoil anything because they ask you at the end, don't spoil anything. And you get an email from J.K. Rowling after you've seen it going, please don't spoil anything. So we're not going to spoil anything, but if you get the chance, go. I know booking has calmed down now because it was stupidly busy. but it has calmed down, so you should be able to get some tickets. It's about to open on Broadway. It might have already opened, I'm not sure. I think a lot of the original London cast are in the Broadway production, so it's well worth it if you're in America, because that cast was amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's well worth it, so give that a go. But yes, so this is from The Telegraph, actually, I found. And basically, a power cut in central London saw the city's West End plunged into darkness. Theatre goers were left sitting in the dark and shows were cancelled, including Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. The second part of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was cancelled on Sunday evening after the theatre lost power, with providers saying electricity would not be restored in time for the show to go ahead. Oh, maybe it didn't start then. That's not too bad. Because the beginning of part 2 is like, oh my god. So if you saw that and then it cut the power, that would have been actually quite terrifying. Some audience members queued outside the theatres as they waited to find out if the play would resume after the first part earlier in the day, while others sat inside the auditorium in darkness. And yeah, they opened the doors like 45 minutes early, so you can, be in there for a long time. The UK Power Network said the power cut, which affected the busy Soho area of central London, was expected to last until between 10:30 and 11 p.m. on Sunday. Audience members at Harry Potter Play praised staff for excellent service, including handing out free drinks. So then there's some Twitter posts praising the Nimax Theatre staff for handing out drinks, excellent service, blah, blah, blah. This is the video. I don't think you've seen this. So this is put up by HB Play fans on Twitter.
It's just pitch black. You can't see anything. And because it's such an old theatre, I'd imagine that is terrifying.
And especially what's just happened at the end of part 1.
Yeah.
It's really terrifying.
Wow. I would have been petrified.
But yeah, so apparently they were really good and the staff were amazing, so hats off to them. I'm guessing they're gonna refund them or let them book again.
Well, they'd have to. You couldn't leave it on the cliffhanger that part 1 ends on.
There we go. Patrons have been advised to contact their point of purchase for a refund or exchange for part two of the play. So hopefully they will do. The problem is though, if you go and see part 2 on in the evening, it might be a different cast to what you saw part 1 because the understudy might be on, things like that. So yeah. And
you're so into it that it was. I think that was why it was so incredible as well, because you've been on this massive journey with them. You just felt emotionally drained, but good in a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way, drained.
But as soon as a character came on stage, you knew exactly who they were. It was so cleverly done. And yeah, we were a bit of a wreck at the end, weren't we?
It was just sort of walked out and didn't really know what to do, did we?
No, we were in a bit of it's a bit of a daze, really. It truly was quite life-changing.
Yeah.
It's if you think you know Harry Potter, go and see this because it doesn't change your view, but it just
expands it.
Expands it, and
when you watch the films. I've recently sort of done a marathon of them. You sort of see things and think, that's where it links in the play, and you sort of puts a different spin on some things.
And the ending, I'm not going to say what happens, but when that's talked about in the books, it never really bothered me. When you see it portrayed on stage, it's traumatically horrific.
But brilliant.
Yeah, incredible. Because, I'm not spoiling anything, but just the way they do it, because you don't... Visually, it's very cleverly done.
Oh, amazing. It's incredible. It's definitely worth going to see it.
It is.
Because we can't even explain to you some of the stuff that happens.
We're not allowed to spoil anything, so...
So go and see it. And let us know. Or if you've seen it, let us know how you felt.
Yes. It was, it was epic. Everyone I've seen say it's phenomenal. And if you're moaning because it's in 2 parts and they're trying to grab your money, blah, blah, don't. It so needs to be in 2 parts.
Definitely.
You'll see why when oh my god, it's a video. You'll see why when we get there. So, our last bit of news is the Olivier Award nominations have been announced. Cool. So the Olivier Awards, if you're listening in America and you don't know, are basically the UK's version of the Tony Awards. It's not as big a deal as the Tony Awards. We get a very stripped down televised version of it, normally on like Red Button or something, isn't it? It's not even on like normal TV. But it's well worth checking out because they have performances and stuff and celebrity guests and things like that. So when are they actually happening?
The 8th of August. 8th of April.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you know.
Not long.
Look, it's Thingy Woman and Thingy Woman.
Elaine and Alexandra.
Yeah. Obviously announcing things. So I'm just going to quickly run through like the biggest things, biggest nominations. So for Best New Musical, up for the award is An American in Paris. Everyone's talking about Jamie, Girl from the North Country, Hamilton, and Young Frankenstein. 3 of those we've already mentioned on the show. And I believe Sheena is seeing Hamilton on Friday.
I'm so excited.
Friday.
So I shall let you know next week how we get on. I've got high hopes. Very, very excited. The people I'm going with, my friends, they're a little bit bored of me spouting off Hamilton facts. But I told them it's only going to get worse once I've seen it. Just going to carry on.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. So we'll let you know next week how Hamilton went.
Awesome. So Best New Play, The Ferryman, Inc. Network, and Oslo. Best Actress in a Play, that looks like. Laura Donnelly, Leslie Manville, Audra McDonald, and Imelda Staunton. Best Actor in a Play, Paddy Considine for The Ferryman, Bryan Cranston for Network, Andrew Garfield for Angels in America, and Andrew Scott in Hamlet. I wouldn't mind seeing Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that was broadcast to a cinema, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
It might be on Broadway HD.
It might be.
Let's just skip through. Where's the musical stuff? Best set design, best costume design.
There's a few that keep popping up. So I think Hamilton pops up in a lot. Everyone's talking about Jamie.
Yeah.
Which we've got booked. Girl from the North Country, the Bob Dylan musical. That's gone down amazingly. It keeps popping up in different categories.
Okay.
Which looked pretty phenomenal.
Best sound design, Bat Out of Hell for Gareth Owen, hopefully. Lighting, Hamilton again. Oh my god, there's so many. Best Actress in a Musical. Here we go. Janie D for Follies, Shirley Henderson, Girl from the North Country, Imelda Staunton in Follies, and Josie Walker in Everyone's Talking About Jamie. Best Actor in a Musical. How do you pronounce that? Kyron Hines in Girl from the North Country, John McCrae in Everyone's Talking About Jamie, Giles Terrera in Hamilton, and Jamail Westman also in Hamilton. Best Musical Revival, 42nd Street Follies or On the Town.
I didn't realise there were so many categories.
There's loads.
I think, like you said, when we see the televised version or like the extra, I think they cut out some of the categories. I don't think it's the full programme you get. I think Young Frankenstein's nominated for a few I've just seen there.
Yeah.
It keeps popping up.
I saw a video about that, and the way they've designed the Frankenstein monster sounds like incredible. And they've got this massive guy to play him, and they've used like real pig skin and stuff, because apparently that's what Frankenstein used to make him. So they've used like skin and stitch stuff. Yeah, it sounds really like gross but awesome to see on stage. I mean, I thought the makeup in the National Theatre version was like amazing. You haven't seen that yet, have you?
No. I really want to.
Yeah, hopefully if Halloween comes around again, they'll we'll be
if
ready.
Halloween comes.
There's not going to be a Halloween this year, no.
We decided not to have Halloween this year.
It normally gets shown in the cinemas around Halloween, so fingers crossed. Look, Hamilton there, Best Actor in Supporting Role, 3. They've got 3 nominations.
Come on, Hamilton.
They've got to beat Ross Noble in Young Frankenstein.
I like Ross Noble, but more Hamilton. Come on.
That's mad. So yeah, we'll keep you up to date with that. I had a mad idea we could maybe watch it and like record us watching it.
Like Gogglebox.
Like Gogglebox.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be on Gogglebox.
We can make our own Gogglebox.
Yeah.
I thought it could be quite cool.
Robblebox.
Yeah, might be like an extra episode. We might just record it, or even live stream it. You could watch it with us.
Yeah. Join in, and we can have our own little Gogglebox.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted on that. When's it? April the 8th.
Yes. It's a Sunday night.
I'll be free.
Yeah, me too. I'm on. Yeah. I'm on holiday.
April the 8th.
Okay, so pop it in your diaries.
We've just come back. Oh, I've just come back from London. Seeing another show. But yeah, April the 8th. Hopefully we'll do a live stream. We will sort that out near the time.
Brilliant.
We might
Something
just
to
do
look
it on
forward to.
Facebook or YouTube. We'll do it somewhere. Yeah, so that will be fun. Olivier Awards.
Excellent.
Review. So, I wanted to do a review just to fill the show. Although we've done very well. But so I thought we could link this up because we spoke about it last week and it's linked to the Broadway HD thing. So, Wind in the Willows. Woo! We went to see it last
September
last September in London in the Apollo Theatre, and it landed in London after a nationwide tour. So I think we could have seen it in Bristol if we wanted, but I didn't know it existed then. We first heard about it in West End Live, and they did the song "Messing About in a Boat," which I fell in love with completely, and I wanted to see the show based on that one song. So,
but it paid off.
It did. It did. We what was that trip? We saw Play That Goes Wrong, Wind in the Willows, and Annie. So we really want to see Play That Goes Wrong. Really want to see Annie, and I was like, I really want to see Wind in the Willows.
And we booked it, and it turned out it was the last ever performance.
Yeah,
which was we didn't know that. It was just happy coincidence.
So all the actors were sort of an emotional, but they were on a bit of a muckabout kind of fun last show thing. And I've discovered that Rufus Hound said a different line at the end than he does in the recorded one, but managed to find my program. We spent about 10 minutes before the show finding it. So it was lovely, really, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, that's a brilliant word for it. It really was just a lovely, family show, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They stuck true to, because obviously Wind in the Willows has always been known as, children's classic, family. Most people have read the book or seen some adaptation of it. And they really were true to that. And it just was such a happy, lovely show. Nothing crude, nothing violent. It was just a real family-friendly show, but appealed to adults as well. It wasn't very childish or anything. It wasn't panto or child aimed at children. But it was a really lovely, happy show.
So just a bit about the show. It's a new musical. It's not on there, but it is like a new musical. And the book was written by Julian Fellows. If you don't know who Julian Fellows is, he wrote Downton Abbey. He wrote Downton Abbey. And he's also done other stuff that I can't remember at the moment. But he wrote the book for this. And the guys who wrote the music, I'm trying to quickly find their names. Where is it?
There were some brilliant songs in it that we were talking before the show started. And you sort of forget they're in it. And then when you hear them, you think, oh, I really like that song. It was good.
Yeah, sorry. So the guys who wrote the music were, I can't find the name, Anthony someone and someone else. But they wrote the extra songs for the Mary Poppins musical. So the ones that weren't in the movie, they like Practically Perfect and things like that, they wrote those. And you do get a sense of that kind of fun Mary Poppins sound in the music in Wind in the Willows. It kind of comes through, doesn't it? Which is really cool. And it just works because it's a nice kind of gentle but new sound. And the opening song I was not expecting. Full on epic new musical kind of acoustic-y folky sound, which was really cool. Because we only knew the one song, literally. Yeah. We knew nothing about it. We just went in blind. And we knew the cast. So Rufus Hound was Mr. Toad, Simon Lipkin was Ratty, Craig Mather was Mole, and Neil McDonough was Chief Weasel. Denise Walsh was Mrs. Otter, and Gary Wilmot was Badger. There's a picture of Rufus Hound as Toad in his green suit and his green dyed moustache.
He made it, didn't he?
He actually grew that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was brilliant in it. He really, because sometimes when, like we were saying before, sometimes when you've got a big name in a show, can go one way or the other. But he was incredible. He really put everything into it and really made Toad his own.
He really did. And what was really nice, the costumes, the way they did it. There's some pictures you can kind of see here. They were kind of like, they weren't dressed up as a mole, but Moley looked like a mole just from the way he was dressed. So if you just listen to this, he had like sort of brown trousers on, like a browny grey shirt with a sweater vest and glasses and a black nose. But you could tell he was a mole, even though he wasn't in a brown furry outfit.
And the hedgehogs were brilliant.
Hedgehogs were
they
great.
had like scout outfits on. But you know, like tassels that you get under your arms, weren't they?
Yeah.
So there was the spikes. They did have spikes, but then they were in human scout outfits.
Yeah. And so you had like the main story, but then you had different animals popping up to do a little song just to kind of move the story along, I suppose. And you had like some swallows turned up because they were flying off, and the song was called "One Swallow Does Not a Summer Make," which I think is an old saying.
It sounds familiar, doesn't it?
I think. But yeah, so it was just like, so it was ladies in kind of old-fashioned sort of travelling coats, but the tails looked like swallowtails on the back, and they all had like a case, like a suitcase, because they were flying off.
It was just little touches like that. Every so often you'd have a different, and then the squirrels came in, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they were wearing sort of boaters, waistcoats, but then they had a giant tail.
George Stiles and Anthony Drew wrote the music and lyrics. There they are.
Good work, guys.
There's not many pictures in this program. Ratty was awesome. Rawsome? He was awesome. So he was played by Simon Lipkin, who is amazing. I don't know if you've ever seen him in anything. Oh, we're back. I've seen him twice now, I think. 3 times. I think 3 times. He was in Rock of Ages, Mr. Atomic Bomb, and this. And he's awesome. He's just one of those really natural actors who just makes it look easy. And he just has got an amazing voice, and his comic timing is epic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And he's just great. But he was dressed kind of in a sailor's outfit, but not like a typical sailor's outfit. So he kind of looked like a cross between a chimney sweep and a sailor.
With a bit of rat thrown in.
Yeah, and then like when they were going to like the wild wood and they had to put their sort of coats on, he had like a sailor's coat and a scarf, and then Molly had more of like a brown sort of furry coat. It was really cleverly done. I say, if you want to watch it, Broadway HD, or you can go and see it in the cinema over the Easter holidays. It's well worth seeing. Look, it's got a maze in the program, and a word search. Merch. Did we buy much merch?
No, I think we just bought programs.
You didn't buy a canvas bag.
I am partial to a canvas bag, but I think I resisted that.
Oh, look, that t-shirt looks like an Evan Hansen t-shirt.
Oh, this would have... Oh, no, it wasn't. It was after you saw it.
It was after it. I think they'd sold out of a lot because it was the last day.
Yeah, because we had a little nose, didn't we? And I don't think there was too much. Because I can't imagine walking away without a canvas bag.
No. There they all are in their costumes. So you can see them all there. And the Weasels and Stoats, I loved them. They were great. Their song was actually really creepy. It was quite scary. And then it sort of breaks into more of a happy kind of relaxed, like, oh, okay, this is a happy kids musical. But they were really cool, and they were kind of dressed as gangsters almost, like 20s gangsters. And they had their main song is that going to stay there?
Yeah.
Their main song is Wild Wooders, and it's just really cool. It sort of starts all like evil and like, and then it just breaks into a real kind of chilled out, like, hey, this is cool. But yeah, it's well worth checking out on the soundtrack. But there's some really standout songs. So like Messing About in a Boat, I love it. Wildwooders is really good. A Friend Is Still a Friend.
I loved that one.
It's a lovely song. Badger sings that one. I also loved Mole's got a song in Act 2 when he finds his hole again, and it's all about like the place to come back to, you know, feeling like home. That's a lovely song. And then you got the Wassailing Mice. Remember the Wassailing Mice?
The mice.
The mice.
Yeah. See, there's as we're talking about, there's a lot that I think, oh my goodness, yeah, there was little touches like that. I like the Hedgehog song.
The Hedgehog song.
They sang a song about trying to cross the road, and it was really good. I like them.
Yeah, they were great. And I can remember even from seeing it live, during the Wassailing Mice, so it was sort of Christmas time and the mice came to do their little Wassailing carol thing, and they mentioned all the animals in their song, and it got to like we give thanks to the toad and to the rat and the rivery road, and Ratty's like, I'm in a song. He was great. But yeah, so when we saw it, I say it was last night, so they were mucking about a bit. Old Rufus Hound was having some fun with Denise Walsh. He put in a line about having pants on your head, which almost made her corpse. And at the end, he comes in on a jetpack because it's his next big thing. So he flies around on this jetpack. And I think at the end, it's a big reprise of the song, and he's meant to say, poot poot, because that's what he says in the show. When we saw it, he's like, that'll put the wind in your willows. And then he flew off again. So that was quite funny. We did like that. But the way it's filmed on Broadway HD is really good, because a lot of the times shows are filmed and they're filmed a bit weirdly. They're kind of more close up and you miss the big picture. I haven't seen it, but I've heard the Miss Saigon recording isn't visually very good.
We saw that. And then I bought the DVD to show Mum when we bought it. But they try and film it as a film. Whereas when you see it live, you've got the two women. So you've got Kim and Ellen. Is it Ellen?
Probably.
You've got the two women. So you've got Ellen on a stage above, and then Kim's underneath in her area. And they're above each other, and you can see each other, see them both at the same time, obviously, when you're there. They're on the same stage. But when on the DVD, when you watch it back, they just concentrate on one woman at a time. So it looks like they're separate, and it loses something. And then you've got massive dance scenes with all the armies coming in. It's the loudest show you'll ever see in your life. Literally so loud. And that you've got these massive scenes with hundreds, well, not hundreds, but they make it look like hundreds of people marching. But on the DVD, they concentrate on one or two, and you don't get the full effect of the armies coming out. So they missed a trick really there, I think.
That sucks.
It was good, don't get me wrong.
Because the Billy Elliot recording's really good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the Worlds is one of the other ones I've got. That's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Have we got any others?
They did Gypsy, which I didn't see live, but they filmed it very well, actually. Again, that looks very similar to The Wind and Willows, so they got the whole picture. And don't try and do it like a film.
And I've got Chess in concert as well, which is more of a concert, but that was really cool. That's filmed really well. But yeah, The Wind and the Willows, they do focus in on like the main part who's singing, obviously, but then they do a full stage shot so you can see the whole dance number going on, and then they'll zoom in on like just a closer group, but they don't focus on one person for the whole scene, so it helps. Astrid's made her appearance for the show. She's off. Yeah, Wind of the Willows. It's lovely. I think that's the only way I can describe it. It's lovely.
Yeah. It really is.
We just came out going, oh,
yeah,
that was really nice. We didn't hang around at stage door, did we? Because
it's the last night, wasn't it?
And we thought they were going to be running off for their party and stuff. And it was really warm, wasn't it?
And we were hungry.
We were hungry, weren't we?
We needed food.
We had a little picnic that night.
Oh, a carpet picnic.
We always have a carpet picnic when we go to London. Our London trips are amazing.
They are.
We pick a hotel, and however fancy the hotel is, we just go with it. One had robes, so we had pictures with the robes.
Yes, and it had doorman. Didn't it?
Dorman.
And we went to Tesco's to buy a carpet picnic, and we walked back in with these bag for lifes, and this doorman opened the door in his robes, and the piano man was tapping out a tune. We strolled in with our picnic.
And then we went to one, and the corridors looked like we were on the Titanic.
With padded walls.
And it had padded
the
walls
walls were
in the room.
soft. Brilliant.
Yeah, we've been in some interesting hotels up in London.
We need to book our hotel, don't we?
We do need to book a hotel. I thought about that the other day. So, yeah, that was our review.
Excellent.
If you watched Put in the Willows, let us know what it's like. Or if you liked it, we know what it's like because we saw it.
But let us know what you thought.
Yes, please do. Okay, we're almost at the end of the show. Shout outs. We've had some more followers on Twitter and stuff, but I just want to give a massive shout out to Ben, who is in a group that I'm doing a show with currently, and he's recently mullered his leg. And he's still powering on through the show on his crutches. So I just want to give a massive shout out to Ben when he finally listens, which he's slowly getting through the episodes. And yeah, I'm well impressed how you're still going, and I'm slightly concerned we're going to break you whilst you're on stage, but hopefully we won't. So I hope you heal soon.
The term break a leg really comes into play here.
One of the songs we're doing has got the line health and safety guaranteed in it, and we're all going to point at Ben's leg when we do it, because we thought that would be quite funny. So yeah, but thank you to our new followers on Twitter. We've had a few. And again, please email us, tell us about the shows you're seeing, send us your pictures of your stage or selfies. We'd love to see them. They will go on our website and be shared on our social media and things like that. That would be great. And if you've got a review of a show, send it in. If you've seen anything we've mentioned, or you're seeing anything new, anything we should check out, let us know about that. Any news you want us to cover, just let us know. Send it in. You can send it in to us via our email address, treadingtheboardspodcast@gmail.com. Our website, treadingtheboardspodcast.com. Snapchat, Sheena.
Treadboardspod.
Awesome.
Yes.
And that's the same on Twitter @treadboardspod. And we share things and stuff throughout the week. So, we're updating it. We're letting it go. But there will be details from Sheena's Hamilton trip. Hopefully we'll be able to put them up live. If not, there will be lots of stuff afterwards, stuff like that. Are you going to stage door?
I'm going with 3 friends who I don't think have ever done stage door.
Are you going to stage door?
I might try. I think I'm pushing it by taking them to see Hamilton.
Let them go to the pub. Let them go to the pub, and then you can...
And I'll hang around.
You need to meet Hamilton.
I know. I will try. I'm not promising, but we'll send some snaps from Hamilton. Yeah. But we might try.
You need to meet Mr. Hamilton himself.
But I shall let you know how we're getting on in the interval.
Yes. We
keep you updated.
Walked past there the other day, and they had sniffer dogs on the door, so be prepared to be sniffed.
I wear nice perfume.
Yeah, don't smuggle anything in.
Oh, damn that popcorn.
Your balls and your bows. So that's the end of episode 4. Hey, we made it. Yes. So again, please get in contact and let us know what you think. If you want us to do anything else, if you'd like to support the show, there's a donate link on the website. That would be amazing. So you've got Hamilton coming up.
Yep.
I've got a show that I'm in a few weeks, and then I'm seeing Les Mis and The Grinning Man and all sorts. If you want to check out my other YouTube channel, it's called Little Dib. I will put a link on the video. I think I can do that. It might be here. I'll see if it works. But I've recently I play the recorder, and I've recently done a recorder cover of This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. And I'm really pleased with how it came out. So head on over to Little Dib. So youtube.com/LittleDib. And you can find it. Or just search for This Is Me recorder cover, and I should pop up, and you can see it. And check out the Come From Away video as well, and you'll see me. And we need to get Sheena on YouTube. But until next time, keep treading those boards.